Hello, in this video we will create micro-workers with Claude Skills. With Skills, it's possible to set up a team of workers, and in this way you can develop your business, your startup, or your career. In this video, how do you start using Skills from scratch? How do you develop a custom skill for yourself, and how do you edit this skill afterwards? How do you make it even better? How do you come up with skill ideas that you need to develop for your business? I'll show you all of these. When it comes to skills, and actually Claude in general, people usually see it as a coding tool, something used for white coding, but Claude has many features, and one of the best aspects is being able to create your own team of workers. Yes, we've reached the point of creating those AI workers, but it's not what you might think. Instead of employees who go to work in the morning and leave in the evening, you actually need to develop micro-workers who complete specific tests. And in this video, I'm showing you how to do that. Let's get started. First, let me talk about our business and our very first venture. Rank.ai is one of our ventures. It's a startup where I'm also a co-founder. Here we actually provide a service that allows you to be ranked in AI language models, meaning you can be found when searched. We actually provide a geo service. SEO is of course very important, but geo is just as important because people listen to the recommendations of artificial intelligence at a much higher level. That's how I would put it. That's why it's quite important to appear in front of artificial intelligence, to be included in the models, or to be present when a question about you is asked. This is the service we provide. This is our landing page. I'm going to develop a skill related to this. In other words, I'm going to develop a skill that will be useful for my own business. You will also learn the logic I follow and how you can use this skill development for your own business. For this, we looked at our website. To create skills, we went to General. So, after going to Cloud from the Cloud, we went to General in the settings. Here there are capabilities. Under Capabilities, you can find skills below. Your skills, example skills. There are also examples here. From here, when you click ADD, you can create a new skill. There are a few options here. When you select Create with Cloud, you can do it by talking. You can just write the instructions and start, or you can choose Upload a skill. You can add a skill file that you have downloaded. Here, it can be a skill you created yourself, or you can also add a skill that someone else created before to your own platform. This also paves the way for skill sharing. I'm going to select Create with Cloud because I want to explain what I want to do. Here we are. Now it's starting to research. First, it will see how it can create a skill itself. So it's pulling its own Cloud skill documentation. From here, it will learn how to create a skill. Then it will wait for instructions from us. All right. Now, help me to design it. What's the main purpose of this skill? It says. Let me put it this way. I'm currently using a powerful product called Rank AI. I am confidently stating that I will develop a valuable skill directly related to Rank AI. That's what's important here. What I want is related to Rank AI. For my skill, things like the landing page, onboarding, pricing, CTA, email copy, micro copy. I want to develop these. In other words, I want to create a conversion-focused skill. I want to create a conversion-focused copywriting skill so that it can support me in areas where I fall behind. It asked a few more questions. It asked about the input, Rank AI, the context, and the output. Let's provide all of these. I said Rank AI, I'm talking about an SEO and CEO content optimization product. Target users, content creators, email teams, agencies, SaaS companies. So, what's the core value? I provided these. I'll share them as data, but I can also provide a screenshot or a Figma view. I provided them according to the situation. That's how I conveyed it. Now, it will create the skill based on this. It understood how it will be triggered and how it will work. It understood what it can do. It will create it accordingly. We're waiting as well. Conversation. It mentioned this in the conversation flow. Agency. The bot, I'm currently giving a more simpler answer. We answered its questions here as well. It's actually trying to understand what you want to do and how it should work. Now it's continuing to create the skill. Let me put it this way. Let's also provide a scoring system like this. Scoring from 1 to 10 before and after. Let's include psychological and rational aspects so we know why we're changing what. Let it also mention these according to the user. Let it be a very detailed system. And at the end, let it give us a 10-step action list. Let's see what we can do with these insights, what they're useful for. Let's get those. Now it's creating it. Now the skill is generated. You might ask why we're using skills, why not project, or why we're not doing this in ChatCPT. Here's the thing. When you do this in project or ChatCPT, it gets forgotten. It also forgets the tasks it's supposed to do, it can't connect to standard, and it doesn't work in a standardized way. So it doesn't reach the level where it can meet your expectations from an employee. Because what you want is for a specific task to be done in a specific way. This actually serves as a standard operating procedure. This way, you know that the task is being done correctly every time. That's what's important. This is where the term micro-employee comes into play. Actually, microtask, meaning the employees who perform these tasks. Normally, this might be just one of a person's daily duties in the company, but for this role, it's the main job. The entire responsibility is this. This becomes your skill. That's why we can refer to it as a micro-employee. Now, the logic here is as follows. If you develop these micro-employees for your business, you'll get ahead of your competitors. If you develop them in your career, you'll not only advance in your career, but also become more efficient and contribute more to your company. These micro-employees make a difference in many areas. In fact, the way work is done is changing. It's not just artificial intelligence, flashy visuals, or the so-called automation agencies' copy-paste systems. What we call automation already existed. AI has also become very powerful, but it's not really possible to make money with automation systems that everyone copies from each other. The important thing is to develop a perspective. If you want to advance in that field, it's about being able to create solutions for companies' problems. That's the logic. If you can create a solution, then that solution gains a certain monetary value. You actually earn money based on that value. This should be your perspective as well. That's why it's about experience. It's about doing something. You don't have to get stuck on one thing. When necessary, you use .NET. When necessary, you use the cloud. This is where logic comes into play. If you apply the micro-working logic here, either for yourself or, for example, if you're an agency, for the brands you work with. Or let's say you're another logistics company, you're in the sales department. You can create skills like this to make your customer operations easier. Here, our skill has been created as well. This is also what differentiates it from ChatGPT and the other thing. This is also what makes it different from working with a project. It will always work correctly for you, and you can keep improving this skill. We'll do that too, but first, our skill has been created. Super. We've arrived here. Rank, AI, copy, optimizer, input handling, output format. Here is the scoring system, and there's documentation on how everything we just did works. So instead of mixed up code, what is it in Markdown format? It's provided in Markdown format so that everyone can understand it. You can download this skill. You can also upload it indirectly. You can also share it with others. Or when you say copy to your skill, it usually adds it automatically. Let's click Manage. All right. Okay. As you can see, something has appeared in Rank. The skill has been added here and it's active. Now I'll show you how you can use this. I've come here. In this chat, please either rank or conversation. Use the copy optimizer. I'm saying using screenshot I attached. I'm telling it to look at the copy. I'm saying score it. Find the issues. For each issue, actually do the before-after suggestions. And finally, finish with 10 actions. Now, I'm taking the screenshots for this from here. From Benki. I'm taking a few and adding them. Now, let me add it right away. After careful consideration and a thorough review of the available options, I had, with certainty, already made the definitive decision to select and take possession of this particular item, ensuring it was secured for my intended use and purpose. Not this one. Okay. I've added it now. It will use this skill for me. It already created the skill. It will look at the screenshots, and in the end, we'll see the output of our report, that is, the skill, together. It finished the output. Now let's look at it from start to finish. As you can see, it did a conversation copy audit. It scored the hero headline, the hero subline, the primary CT. It scored each one individually, gave a rating. It also explained the reason. It explains why it gave that score. Then it found three main things: the blocking conversation issues, Very valuable, very important. I will definitely implement these. They found the parts that could create a significant impact. Medium, low means that initially it didn't identify 20 possible operations, but 18. And then it showed you which one to do first and which one to do later, along with the before and after rewrites. He made suggestions so that things would be like this before and like this after. I think it's very valuable, by the way. How many suggestions are there right now? 10 of them. In the past, you had to pay a lot of money to get something like this done, and they would have to understand you, understand your brand, and it would take time. There's no guarantee it would work, but now you have an employee at your fingertips who can do this for you. They analyze for you, review the design, and take a look. They tell you what you should do, what you should write. It's very valuable. We're going to develop this a bit further, but now let's take a look here. It also gave me the 10 priority steps right here. And it also gave me some quick wins as a bonus. Let's add urgency, do A/B tests, and also try different CTA button colors. So it's also giving UI feedback, basically acting like a UI designer. Really, really successful. So you saw how you can create a kind of micro employee with skill, have it do this analysis for you, and get these things done for your own business. You saw that you can achieve this result. As I said, you can use this in a wide variety of fields. It may vary depending on your business, depending on what you do. First, let's improve this. Then I'll show you how to come up with skill ideas. Now this skill is working really well, but I want it to be twice as powerful to give even more results. We're going to edit the skill. Again, I went to the settings. I went to capabilities. Here you can see our skill right there. I click on Edit with Claude. First of all, something called Help Me to Edit, Rank, Copy, Optimize Skill Using Skill Creator popped up. Again, this time it understands the skill. After that, let me quickly write my thing here. We will add brand voice. We will add pre-attribution and create. Pre-at. We will add a prioritization criterion. We will add output format and additions. Like this. Actually, we will update it. Our skill. Of course, I won't be the one updating it. Again, I'm explaining it to Claude. Claude will update it for us. I'm waiting. What should I do? How should we update it? It already asked. It's done. I sent it. This is how we'll do the update.
Quick note, if you want to go deeper, I built a community where we teach these systems. We have thousands of templates, weekly calls, and full courses. We'll create everything from scratch together on live builds. If you want to join our community, the name is Unfair Advantage. We will create full apps, SaaS products, cloud code implementations in A10. And the most important part, if you're coming from scratch, if you're just starting, you will find all the documentation, all the support you need. So let's continue.
Claude understands what I want. I've written here how I want to strengthen this skill. It will understand this and start using it. As I said, for example, when you're developing a SaaS or a mobile app in startups, when developing a mobile app, sometimes it's not just about the app itself, but marketing is also important. After you build it, how will you go to market? How will you manage the finances? You need a lot of employees for these things. Sometimes you need micro employees. This solution is actually for you, or maybe you want to transform your business. Your company is great, but you want your employees to work more efficiently. Again, these are the cases. Actually, you will run your business with these solutions because companies are starting to use these. They are training their employees. We are also receiving a lot of requests about these trainings. We provide them as much as we can too. Using these tools correctly really takes things to the next level. Right now, there is a goldmine. There is a huge gap between those who use it and those who don't. By the way, it has been updated. This also shows it. While those who use it suddenly leap into the space age, those who don't are left behind. This is an unfair competition. Yes, but actually everything is very accessible now. Work systems have completely evolved. Now this old classic way of working, no matter what you do, whether you are a real estate office or Hivec, whatever you do, you can't stay in the old working system. Because the old education system is like this too. The system that required years of layered education has also changed. Because back then, we had to memorize, process, and somehow learn to use information that way. Now information is everywhere. For education, it's everywhere, and for your work as well. You need to shape it according to your purpose. Here, the most important thing above all is perspective. If you develop an AI-first perspective in your work, you'll also develop micro-workers in this way. It will make your job easier. You can create any kind of solution with a tool that costs just $20 a month. This is actually incredibly funny. Compared to the past, that's why those who use these will suddenly get ahead of you. Don't be surprised if you're not using it. But it's also very important to develop these perspectives in order to use it. For this, you can join us, join the community, or reach out to me. If you need corporate training, we always provide support on this topic because the transformation is very fast and highly demanded. But not everyone is aware of this yet. They also don't know where the transformation will come from. These questions need to be answered. As you can see, it was created and what was added. It added everything we mentioned and put it in the file. You can see everything here. Now it's done. We've set up the skill. We set it up for Rank AI. Then we improved it though. How can I decide on a skill for any job? I chose copywriting because I wanted to improve that area. What could you decide on? I'll show you these. Now I'm back again. I said I run a product called Rank AI. Yes, this is an excellent SEO plus Q product. This product is truly remarkable. I said, suggest me 10 skills. It will upgrade to an array and also prioritize how much I can use them. What does this skill do? What do I need to put as input? What will it give as output? Suggest me 10 skills. For example, you work in the sales department in your career. You can transfer your daily tasks here. What are they? These are what I do. You can say, suggest me 10 skills or suggest me 5 skills. Or there's an issue in your brand that you can't solve. You want to improve something somewhere, your employees aren't sufficient, or you want to find a solution yourself. You can explain this need to Claude. Claude can find a solution for you regarding this, and then you can start creating the skills. For example, SERP Computator, another one is SEO Content Brief Creator, and Technical SEO Quick Editor. Many features have been added: backlink quality, search intent classifier. It suggested many features to me. So, at any point in your work, you can activate these skills and actually build your own army of micro-employees. These are truly your own employees. They don't come in at 9 in the morning and leave work at 5 in the evening. Okay. And they don't have to anyway. A person who comes in at 9 and leaves at 5 also only does certain tests at certain times. This is just one of those tests, for example. You have built an employee who performs this test. You can also build another employee who performs a different test. There is no cost. The monthly cost you pay and the tokens are much cheaper than an actual employee, but they solve a lot of problems. They don't make mistakes. You can run them and get results at any time, 24/7. There's no waiting and no generation time. That's why, as I said, artificial intelligence is changing the way work is done. Artificial intelligence is not going to take your job away, but when you use it, you'll get far ahead in your career. You'll take your work much further, and you'll advance your business just as much. You will have to adapt, and those who don't will lose their jobs or their startups, actually. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, you can hit the like button. And subscribing to the channel is really important. That's how we stay motivated, and that's how we grow. And it allows me to make more videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you very soon in our next video.